I want to cover some basic animation using a still image. So I'm going to import a still image that I made, and I'm going to drag it into here, into video 2, and I've put it on top of my stop motion animation. You can see there's my little rhinos, and they're on the top of my sunflower seeds. So, and I've also, this image is roughly DV size, but I'm going to shrink it even smaller. When you're working with images like this, try and keep them roughly to the size of your project. There's no point in using images that are much larger, which will be the case if you're using images from a camera or if you've scanned stuff. So what I'm interested in here, one thing I should say is this is a PNG file, and it's got transparency. You can also use Photoshop images. The way to do that is to, in Photoshop, make sure that your images are on a single layer with a transparent background, and save that either as a PNG or as a Photoshop file, and then you can import them straight into Premiere. So I'm just going to make these rhinos zip across the frame. So what I've done is I've positioned them there, and I'm going to start keyframing their position, which I do. This is in Effect Controls, hidden under Motion. So if I expand that and I press this stopwatch, that starts to keyframe any object that I've got selected. So I'm going to zip them across the screen like this, and what I'm doing is I'm moving my edit line, so I'm pushing time along, and then I'm controlling the position of my graphic in the frame here. So that's them off the stage. So if I now render that back, you can see them zip along the stage. If I want to see my keyframes along the timeline, I can show them here by selecting position in my case here. So you can see these little diamonds are keyframes, and I can use these controls to zip along my keyframe point. So if I want to add more different kinds of motion, like if I want to exaggerate and maybe have them bouncing up and down or something, I can do that along the same keyframe. So I want to generally minimize the number of keyframes I use, because that makes the animation more controllable. The fewer keyframes you have, in general, the easier it is to control. So you can see them kind of bouncing along now. And I can add any property that I want. So if I want to then, okay, I want to start animating rotation, if I click the stopwatch, that begins to make changes to rotation. So I can do stuff like this, and I'm using my little control here to step along my my keyframes here, and also I'll make them now turn in the sort of direction that they're facing, and I'll render that again. And there you go, they've got more expressive movement.